Have you ever asked yourself, can I really achieve something incredible all by myself? Or, how can I make the impossible happen without help? Most of us have dreams, big ones, that seem far out of reach. We often think that to achieve the impossible, we need others by our side. But what if I told you that sometimes the greatest accomplishments come from the power within, when we rely solely on ourselves? Imagine this. A climber sets out to scale a mountain, alone. No team, no guide, just themselves and the mountain. It sounds terrifying, right? But it's also incredibly empowering. They push through every obstacle, every fear, and in the end, they make it to the peak. This story is a reminder that with the right mindset, we all have the ability to achieve things we never thought possible, even on our own. Welcome to Wisdom Woven. If you're ready to discover how you can tap into your own strength and achieve the impossible, then stick around. But before we dive deeper, we've noticed something important. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% of viewers subscribe. So, if you find value in this content, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing more insightful content to you. Now, let's get into it. The idea of achieving something impossible alone isn't about isolating yourself from others or refusing help. It's about building a foundation of inner strength, self-reliance, and resilience, principles deeply rooted in Buddhism. Buddha himself found enlightenment through his personal journey, and he taught that true wisdom and success come from within. In Buddhism, the concept of self-reliance is crucial. It emphasizes that while external guidance and community are important, the real work happens within us. You are your greatest asset. By developing your inner world through mindfulness, meditation, and discipline, you can accomplish things that once seemed unreachable. In this video series, we'll explore how Buddhist teachings offer valuable insights on how to harness the power of one, and we'll guide you through ways to develop your own potential to achieve the impossible. Remember, the journey to success begins with a single step, and that step is yours to take. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the practices and philosophies that can turn your impossible into reality. The path of self-reliance in Buddhism. As you begin this journey of understanding how to achieve the impossible on your own, it's important to reflect on the teachings of self-reliance in Buddhism. In life, we often seek help from others. We look for guidance, reassurance, and support. It's a natural human instinct to rely on external forces when we face difficult situations. But what if the true key to success lies not in others, but in ourselves? What if, by cultivating inner strength and self-reliance, we can accomplish even the most challenging and seemingly impossible goals? In Buddhism, self-reliance is a core principle. It doesn't mean isolating yourself or rejecting help from others. Instead, it's about recognizing the power that lies within you. You have the ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. You have the power to shape your destiny. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who wanted to learn the art of archery. He sought out a master, someone renowned for their skill, and begged to be taught. The master agreed, but on one condition. The man had to practice alone, with no guidance, for the first 3 years. Confused but determined, the man followed the master's instructions. Day after day, he practiced, sometimes feeling lost, other times frustrated, but always pressing on. At the end of the 3 years, the man returned to the master, now an excellent archer. The master smiled and said, "You've learned not from me, but from yourself. The greatest teacher is within." This story illustrates the core idea of self-reliance. We often look to others to give us the answers, but true growth happens when we learn to rely on ourselves. In the teachings of the Buddha, self-reliance is about developing mindfulness, awareness, and discipline in our own lives. One of the most famous teachings of the Buddha is his advice to be a lamp unto yourself. This means that we should look within for guidance, rather than constantly seeking answers from outside sources. The Buddha himself became enlightened through his own efforts, after years of meditation and self-reflection. He didn't find enlightenment because someone handed it to him. He found it because he worked tirelessly on himself. In the same way, if you want to achieve something that seems impossible, you must first look within. Whether it's a personal goal, a career achievement, or even a physical challenge, your inner strength is the key to making it happen. You already possess the tools you need. The challenge is learning how to use them. Now, you might be wondering, how do I develop this sense of self-reliance? How do I cultivate the inner strength needed to face life's challenges on my own? The first step is mindfulness. In Buddhism, mindfulness is the practice of being fully aware of the present moment. It's about paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. When you're mindful, you're able to see things clearly, without the distractions of fear, doubt, or anxiety. Mindfulness helps you stay grounded in reality, which is essential when you're working towards a difficult goal. For example, let's say you're trying to run a marathon, something you've never done before. It seems impossible, but by practicing mindfulness, you can break down the challenge into manageable steps. Instead of being overwhelmed by the thought of running 26 miles, you focus on the present moment, your breathing, your pace, each step you take. Mindfulness helps you stay calm, focused, and in control, even when the goal seems out of reach. Another key aspect of self-reliance is discipline. In Buddhism, discipline is often cultivated through meditation. Meditation is not just about sitting quietly. It's about training your mind to focus, to let go of distractions, and to develop inner peace. When you meditate regularly, you build mental strength and resilience, which are crucial when you're facing a difficult challenge. Think of discipline like building a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you become. And just like physical exercise, mental discipline requires consistency. By committing to daily practices like meditation and mindfulness, you gradually develop the mental toughness needed to achieve the impossible. But discipline doesn't just mean sitting in meditation for hours. It also means being disciplined in your actions. If you have a goal, you must be consistent in your efforts. Whether it's writing a book, learning a new skill, or starting a business, success requires persistence. And persistence is born out of self-reliance. You may fail. You may stumble. You may even feel like giving up. But when you rely on yourself, you understand that failure is not the end. It's just a step on the path to success. Buddhism teaches us to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Each obstacle you face is a chance to learn something new about yourself and to become stronger. There's another important lesson in Buddhism related to self-reliance, the concept of non-attachment. This doesn't mean you shouldn't care about your goals or your success. It means that you should let go of the need for things to go a certain way. Often, we become attached to specific outcomes, and when things don't go as planned, we feel frustrated or defeated. Non-attachment teaches us to focus on the process rather than the outcome. If you're working towards a goal, concentrate on the steps you're taking today, not on whether you'll succeed tomorrow. This mindset allows you to stay calm and resilient, even when things don't go your way. In Buddhism, the journey is just as important as the destination. When you learn to embrace the journey, when you focus on growing, learning, and becoming better every day, you begin to realize that the impossible is not so impossible after all. It's just a series of steps, taken one at a time, with patience and perseverance. And remember, self-reliance doesn't mean going it alone without ever seeking help. It means knowing that, at the end of the day, the power to succeed lies within you. Others can support you, guide you, or cheer you on, but the real work is yours to do. To achieve the impossible, you must believe in your own strength. You must trust that you are capable of more than you think. The Buddha didn't wait for someone else to show him the path to enlightenment. He walked the path himself. And you can do the same with your goals. As you continue on this journey, remember the words of the Buddha. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. Self-reliance isn't about isolation. It's about empowerment. It's about realizing that you have the strength, wisdom, and courage within you to achieve your dreams. Trust in yourself. Trust in the process. And remember, the journey to achieving the impossible starts with you. Inner strength and resilience, the core of solo achievement. Welcome, my dear students, to a moment of reflection. Today, we talk about something that is already within each of us but is often overlooked: inner strength and resilience. These are the core of achieving anything remarkable, especially when walking the path alone. Let me guide you through this in a way that you will find simple, meaningful, and deeply connected to your everyday life. Now, think for a moment. How often do we depend on others to pick us up when we fall? How often do we look for support, guidance, or even approval before taking the next step forward? It's natural, isn't it? We are social beings. But here's a truth you must embrace. The most crucial power source in your life is not out there. It's within you. Your inner strength is the fuel, and your resilience is the engine that keeps you moving forward when the road gets rough. You see, life will always throw obstacles in your way. That's a guarantee. Whether it's a personal challenge, a career setback, or an emotional struggle, the path isn't smooth. But do you know what's remarkable? You don't need to depend on anyone else to overcome those challenges. You have the power to rise above them on your own. In the teachings of Zen, we are constantly reminded that real strength does not come from the outside. It comes from cultivating the mind, from the discipline of mindfulness, and from learning to face difficulties with calmness. When you face challenges alone, without expecting someone to rescue you, you are truly practicing resilience. Consider the bamboo tree. It may appear fragile, bending in the wind, but even in the harshest storm, it does not break. Why? Because its roots run deep, and it knows how to sway with the wind. This is the essence of inner strength and resilience. It's not about being hard and unyielding. It's about being flexible, adaptable, and deeply grounded. And that, my students, is something you must learn if you wish to achieve the impossible on your own. The next time you face a problem, instead of reacting immediately or seeking help from others, take a moment to pause. Breathe. Remember, the answer is inside you. You might not see it at first, but it's there. The power to push through is always within you. Let me give you a simple example from daily life. Imagine you're working on a difficult project, something that feels overwhelming. Perhaps you've been given too much responsibility at work, or you're trying to accomplish a goal that seems too big. Your first instinct might be to look for help, to find someone who can share the load. But what if, just for a moment, you didn't do that? What if, instead, you chose to believe in your own capability? You start by organizing your thoughts, breaking the task into smaller, more manageable steps. You take one step, then another. And yes, it's hard. But with each small victory, you gain momentum. Suddenly, something shifts within you. You realize that you are capable. That strength has always been there. It just needed to be awakened. This is inner strength at work. And as you continue to push forward, even when things get tough, you are building resilience. Resilience is not something you are born with. It's something you develop over time. Every time you face a difficulty and refuse to give up, you are strengthening your resilience. The more resilient you become, the more capable you are of handling the challenges life throws your way, alone, if necessary. In Zen, we practice resilience through mindfulness and meditation. When you meditate, you learn to sit with discomfort. Your mind may wander, your body may ache, but you stay with it. This practice teaches you how to endure, how to be patient, and how to remain calm even in difficult situations. Over time, this mental discipline transfers into your daily life. You become less reactive, more grounded, and more resilient. Now, let's talk about the connection between inner strength and solitude. Many people fear being alone. They associate solitude with loneliness or weakness. But in Zen, we understand that solitude is a gift. It is in solitude that you truly come face to face with yourself. When there are no distractions, no external influences, you are forced to rely on your own inner resources. This is where real growth happens. When you are alone, you discover your true strength. Think of the lotus flower. It grows in the mud, far from any other flower, but it rises to the surface and blooms in the purest form. The lotus doesn't need help from the flowers around it. It draws its strength from the water and the mud. In the same way, you can draw strength from your own life experiences, from the challenges you face, and from the quiet moments of reflection when you are alone. To achieve something great on your own, you must learn to trust yourself. You must cultivate the belief that no matter how difficult the path may be, you have the inner strength to walk it. Trust is key here. You can't rely on others to give you strength. You must trust that it's already within you. When Buddha walked his path to enlightenment, he did so alone. He left behind the comforts of his palace, his family, and all the support he had known. He faced the harsh realities of life, sickness, aging, and death, without anyone to guide him. Yet, Through his own inner strength and resilience, he found the way. His journey teaches us that the path to greatness, to achieving the impossible, often requires walking alone. But remember, walking alone does not mean you are isolated. In fact, it connects you to something much larger. As you build inner strength, you become more aware of the interconnectedness of all things. You begin to see that the strength within you is not separate from the world around you. It is part of the same universal energy that flows through all of life. When you tap into your own power, you are tapping into something infinite. As you move forward on your journey to achieve the impossible, keep this in mind. Inner strength is not about being tough all the time. It's about being authentic, facing your fears, and continuing to move forward even when it seems easier to stop. It's about believing in yourself, especially when no one else is around to offer encouragement. So, my dear students, as you reflect on this today, know that the power to achieve greatness, even in the face of the impossible, is within you. It always has been. By nurturing your inner strength and building resilience, you are preparing yourself for whatever challenges lie ahead. Trust the process and trust yourself. Breaking mental barriers, believing in the impossible. So you've come to the point where you want to break through those mental barriers, the ones that keep telling you, this is impossible, or I'm not good enough. Let me tell you something very simple. Those barriers are not real. They feel real because you believe in them, but they're just thoughts. And thoughts, like clouds in the sky, come and go. They don't have to define what you can or cannot do. As a Zen master, I've seen countless people stuck in their own minds, trapped by self-doubt and fear. But here's the truth. The limits you think you have are only as strong as the belief you give them. What if you could simply let go of those limiting thoughts? What if you could see them for what they really are? Just temporary ideas, not permanent truths. That's the first step in believing in the impossible. Understanding that what you think is a barrier isn't. Take a moment to think about this. Have you ever tried something new and thought, I'll never be able to do this, only to find out later that you actually could? Maybe it was learning a skill, running a race, or even speaking in front of a group. At first, your mind said impossible, but with time and effort, you proved that voice wrong. This is a perfect example of how mental barriers work. They seem strong and immovable at first, but they crumble when you challenge them. In Buddhism, this idea of breaking through mental barriers is central. Buddha himself faced mental challenges when he sought enlightenment. He was tempted by fear, doubt, and distractions. But he didn't let those thoughts stop him. He sat under the Bodhi tree, quiet and still, and simply observed those thoughts as they came and went. He didn't give them power. And that's what you need to do when you face your own mental barriers. One way to start breaking these barriers is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully aware of the present moment. When you're mindful, you start to notice your thoughts without getting caught up in them. You might think, I can't do this. But instead of believing it right away, you just observe it. You let it pass by, like a leaf floating down a river. By doing this, you stop giving those negative thoughts the power to control you. Try this exercise the next time you feel like something is impossible. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and notice the thoughts that come to mind. Don't push them away or try to change them. Just watch them. You'll see that they're not as solid as you think. And once you realize that, you've taken the first step toward breaking your mental barriers. Another powerful technique is visualization. Visualization is imagining yourself achieving what you once thought was impossible. This isn't just daydreaming. It's a way to train your mind to see new possibilities. The mind can't tell the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. So, when you visualize yourself succeeding, you're rewiring your brain to believe in that success. Let me share a story with you. There was a man who wanted to run a marathon, but he had never run more than a mile in his life. Every time he thought about the marathon, his mind told him, this is impossible. You'll never do it. But instead of giving in to that voice, he started visualizing himself crossing the finish line. He imagined the sweat on his face, the cheering crowd, the feeling of accomplishment. He did this every day, and slowly, his mind started to shift. What once seemed impossible began to feel possible. Eventually, he not only ran the marathon, he finished it with a smile on his face. The lesson here is clear. What you believe is possible is what becomes possible. If you let mental barriers rule your life, they will. But if you challenge them, if you start to believe in the impossible, you'll find that those barriers aren't as strong as they seem. Now, let's talk about fear, because fear is often at the root of these mental barriers. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These are powerful emotions, and they can keep you stuck. But here's the thing. Fear is natural. It's part of being human. The goal isn't to get rid of fear. It's to learn how to move forward in spite of it. In Zen, we often talk about fear as a guest. When fear knocks on your door, you don't have to let it take over your house. You acknowledge it, but you don't let it control you. When you face something that seems impossible, fear will show up. But instead of letting it stop you, you greet it, accept that it's there, and then keep going anyway. The more you do this, the less power fear has over you. Another aspect of breaking mental barriers is patience. In our fast-paced world, we want results right away. But true achievement takes time. The impossible doesn't become possible overnight. It's a gradual process, and that's okay. In fact, that's part of the beauty of the journey. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. So, be patient with yourself. Celebrate each small win, and trust that with time, the impossible will become possible. One final thought. Believing in the impossible isn't about being arrogant or unrealistic. It's about expanding your mind to see beyond your current limitations. It's about having the courage to dream big and the perseverance to follow through. Buddhism teaches us that everything is constantly changing. Who you are today is not who you will be tomorrow. Your abilities, your strength, your wisdom, they are all growing, evolving. What seems impossible now might be entirely possible in the future, as long as you keep moving forward. So, the next time your mind tells you that something is impossible, stop for a moment. Take a deep breath, and remind yourself, that's just a thought. It doesn't define what's truly possible for you. You are capable of far more than you know. And with patience, mindfulness, and belief, you can break through those mental barriers and achieve what once seemed impossible. Keep going. Your journey is just beginning. Mindfulness, a Buddhist key to unlocking personal potential. Greetings, seeker. Today, we will talk about mindfulness, a simple yet powerful tool to help you achieve what seems impossible. In this world filled with distractions, doubts, and constant noise, we often lose sight of what truly matters. Our mind jumps from one thought to another, never staying still, always restless. But when we quiet the mind and bring it into focus, we unlock the potential within us. This is the essence of mindfulness, a core practice in Buddhism. Let me start by asking you, how often do you truly live in the present moment? How often are you fully aware of your thoughts, your actions, and your surroundings? Many of us rush through life, our minds filled with past regrets or future worries. We may be physically here, but our minds are somewhere else. This split focus weakens us, making it difficult to achieve great things. But with mindfulness, we can bring our awareness back to the present and concentrate all our energy on what is right in front of us. Mindfulness is like the foundation of a house. Without a solid foundation, the house will crumble over time. Similarly, without mindfulness, our efforts to achieve greatness will falter. The reason is simple. You cannot give your best to something if you are not fully present in the moment. In Buddhism, mindfulness is one of the central teachings. It means paying full attention to what you are doing, thinking, and feeling in each moment, without being judgmental or distracted. It sounds simple, but it requires practice. Most people think they are aware, but they are often not. Let me give you an example. Have you ever driven somewhere and, once you arrived, realized you don't even remember the journey? That's because your mind was elsewhere. You were not mindful. When you are mindful, you bring your attention back to the present moment. You are fully engaged in whatever you are doing, whether it's eating, walking, working, or simply breathing. This presence of mind gives you clarity, focus, and the ability to handle any challenge that comes your way. Now, why is mindfulness so important when we talk about achieving the impossible? Because to do something extraordinary, you need extraordinary focus. You need to be able to cut through the noise of doubt, fear, and distraction and zero in on your goal with complete dedication. This is what mindfulness helps you do. It trains your mind to stay on the task at hand, no matter how difficult or daunting it may seem. The Buddha often spoke of mindfulness as the path to enlightenment. But enlightenment is not just some distant spiritual goal. It's the realization of your own potential. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to see things as they truly are, without the distortions of fear, doubt, or negative thinking. You begin to understand your own mind and how it works. This understanding is incredibly powerful. It allows you to break free from old habits, limiting beliefs, and unhelpful patterns of thought. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind or suppressing your thoughts. Instead, it's about observing your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Think of it like watching clouds in the sky. The clouds come and go, but the sky remains. Your thoughts are like the clouds, temporary, always changing. When you practice mindfulness, you are like the sky, calm and clear, watching your thoughts pass by without being disturbed by them. When you cultivate this kind of awareness, you become more resilient. You learn to face challenges with a calm mind and an open heart. You stop reacting impulsively to difficulties and instead respond with wisdom and clarity. This kind of calm, focused awareness is essential if you want to achieve something extraordinary, especially if you are doing it alone. Now, let me guide you through a simple mindfulness practice you can start using today to unlock your potential. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly let it out through your mouth. Feel the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body. Don't try to control your breath, just observe it. Notice how it feels as the air fills your lungs, and then how it feels as you exhale. As you focus on your breathing, you might notice thoughts popping up in your mind. That's okay. Don't push them away or judge them. Simply acknowledge the thought and gently bring your attention back to your breath. You may have to do this many times, and that's completely normal. The practice of mindfulness is not about staying perfectly focused. It's about bringing your attention back to the present moment whenever you notice it wandering. Try this for just 5 minutes a day. Over time, you will notice a change. You will feel calmer, more centered, and more aware of your surroundings. You will begin to carry this mindfulness with you into other areas of your life. Whether you are working on a project, exercising, or spending time with loved ones, you will be fully present, giving your best to each moment. When you apply this kind of focus to your goals, you will find that the impossible begins to feel more achievable. Why? Because you are no longer scattered or distracted. Your energy is concentrated, your mind is clear, and your actions are aligned with your intentions. This is how mindfulness helps you unlock your personal potential. Mindfulness also helps you stay patient and persistent. Achieving something impossible often takes time, and along the way, you may face setbacks, doubts, and frustrations. Without mindfulness, it's easy to get discouraged and give up. But with mindfulness, you learn to stay grounded in the present moment, taking things one step at a time, without getting overwhelmed by the size of the challenge ahead. In the practice of mindfulness, there is no rush. There is no need to force things. You simply trust the process, knowing that with each mindful breath, each focused action, you are moving closer to your goal. This calm, steady approach is what allows you to do great things. Remember, mindfulness is not something you do once and then forget about. It's a way of living, a way of being in the world. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. You will begin to carry this calm awareness with you everywhere, and it will transform the way you approach your challenges, your goals, and your life. So, as you move forward on your journey to achieving the impossible, remember this. The power to succeed lies within you, and mindfulness is the key to unlocking that power. Stay present, stay focused, and trust in your own strength. The impossible is only a matter of perspective, and with mindfulness, you can shift that perspective and turn the impossible into reality. Self-mastery through discipline, the Buddhist way. In the quiet of the early morning, when the world is still, there is a moment of peace and potential. This stillness holds a powerful lesson. The path to achieving the impossible often begins with simple, daily acts of self-discipline. In Buddhism, self-mastery through discipline is not just about following rules. It's about nurturing a profound connection with oneself. Imagine a sculptor with a block of marble. The masterpiece is not formed by chance, but through careful, deliberate chipping away. Each strike is purposeful, each movement controlled. This process mirrors the discipline required to shape our own lives and reach our goals. Just as the sculptor's art emerges from the block, our true potential emerges through consistent self-discipline. Self-discipline in Buddhism is about cultivating habits that align with our values and goals. It starts with small, manageable actions. Think of a river carving a path through the landscape. At first, it might seem insignificant, but over time, its persistent flow creates a powerful force. Similarly, small acts of discipline, like waking up early, practicing mindfulness, or setting aside time for focused work, can lead to profound changes. One of the key teachings in Buddhism is the concept of sila, which means moral conduct or ethical behavior. Sila is about living in harmony with ourselves and others, making choices that are beneficial and right. This principle guides us to act with integrity and purpose. When we practice sila, we build a foundation of trust and respect, both towards ourselves and the world around us. To master discipline, we must first understand our own minds. Buddhism teaches us that our thoughts and habits shape our reality. If our mind is scattered and undisciplined, our actions will follow suit. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we learn to recognize patterns that hinder our progress. This awareness is the first step towards transforming those patterns into positive habits. Meditation is a powerful tool in this journey. It's like a mirror reflecting our inner state. Through meditation, we cultivate awareness and focus, which are essential for self-discipline. When we sit in silence, we begin to see the fluctuations of our mind, distractions, desires, and doubts. With regular practice, we develop the ability to observe these distractions without being overwhelmed by them. This calm observation allows us to make better choices and stay true to our goals. Another aspect of self-discipline is patience. In Buddhism, patience is not just about waiting. It's about enduring challenges and setbacks with a calm and steady heart. Achieving the impossible is rarely a smooth journey. There will be obstacles and moments of doubt. Patience teaches us to stay committed, even when progress seems slow. It's like a gardener tending to a plant. The growth may not be immediately visible, but with care and time, it will flourish. Discipline also involves setting boundaries. In our daily lives, we are often faced with distractions and temptations that can divert us from our path. Buddhism encourages us to set clear boundaries to protect our focus and energy. This might mean limiting time spent on social media, setting specific times for work and rest, or creating a dedicated space for meditation. Boundaries help us maintain our direction and avoid unnecessary detours. The practice of mindful eating is another way to build discipline. When we eat mindfully, we pay attention to the flavors, textures, and sensations of our food. This practice extends beyond eating. It's about bringing awareness to all aspects of our lives. Mindful eating teaches us to appreciate the present moment and make choices that nourish our bodies and minds. This mindfulness translates into discipline in other areas of life, helping us to stay focused and intentional. Self-reflection is also crucial in developing discipline. Regularly taking time to reflect on our actions, progress, and challenges allows us to learn and grow. Buddhism encourages self-reflection as a way to understand our strengths and areas for improvement. By honestly assessing our efforts and setbacks, we can adjust our strategies and continue moving forward. In Buddhism, compassion towards oneself is a vital part of discipline. It's easy to be harsh and critical when we fall short of our goals. However, self-compassion helps us approach our challenges with kindness and understanding. Instead of punishing ourselves for mistakes, we learn from them and use them as opportunities for growth. Compassion allows us to maintain our motivation and resilience, even in difficult times. Finally, gratitude is a powerful practice that enhances discipline. By appreciating the small victories and the progress we've made, we build a positive mindset. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have achieved. This shift in perspective fuels our motivation and reinforces our commitment to our goals. As we embrace these principles, we begin to see that self-mastery through discipline is not a rigid set of rules, but a gentle, ongoing practice. It's about cultivating habits that align with our deeper values and aspirations. By following the Buddhist way, we learn to balance our efforts with patience, mindfulness, and compassion. The journey of achieving the impossible alone is paved with daily acts of discipline. Each step, no matter how small, brings us closer to our goals. By nurturing self-discipline, we harness the power within ourselves to overcome challenges and realize our dreams. So, take a moment to reflect on your own practices. What small acts of discipline can you incorporate into your daily life? How can you cultivate patience, mindfulness, and self-compassion in your journey? Remember, the path to self-mastery is a continuous journey, and every step counts. Facing and overcoming challenges, a Buddhist perspective. In the quiet of the morning, the sun rises slowly over the horizon, as if it too has to face a vast, empty sky. The journey to achieve the impossible alone is much like the sunrise, one that encounters and overcomes the darkness of the night. As we walk this path, we inevitably face challenges. The true essence of achieving greatness lies in how we meet and master these challenges. Let us explore this through the lens of Buddhist wisdom. Imagine a bamboo tree. It stands tall and strong, yet it bends with the wind. It does not resist, it adapts. In Buddhism, we learn that to overcome obstacles, we must embrace a similar flexibility. Challenges, though daunting, are not barriers but opportunities to grow. Each difficulty we encounter is like the wind that bends the bamboo, shaping us into a stronger and wiser version of ourselves. The Buddha taught that suffering is an inherent part of life, but it is not something to be avoided. Instead, it is something to be understood and accepted. When we face challenges, we often feel overwhelmed, as if the weight of the world is upon us. Yet, it is in these moments that we have the chance to practice patience and resilience. Buddha's life was filled with struggles, but through each trial, he found a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. To approach challenges with a Buddhist mindset, begin by cultivating mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us stay present and aware, allowing us to see our problems clearly rather than being lost in anxiety or frustration. It is like shining a light in the dark. Suddenly, the path becomes visible, and we can navigate through the obstacles with clarity. Next, embrace the principle of impermanence. In Buddhism, impermanence is a fundamental concept, reminding us that all things, including our challenges, are temporary. No matter how difficult a situation may seem, it will change. This understanding helps us maintain perspective and prevents us from becoming overwhelmed. Like a storm that passes, so too will our difficulties. Another key is to practice compassion, especially toward ourselves. It is easy to be harsh and critical when things go wrong, but compassion helps us remain gentle and supportive. When faced with setbacks, treat yourself with kindness. This self-compassion creates a nurturing environment where you can learn and grow, rather than retreating in fear or frustration. Additionally, remember the value of perseverance. The journey to achieving the impossible is not a sprint but a marathon. Challenges are not just hurdles, but part of the path itself. Every step, every struggle, is a chance to build strength and resolve. In Buddhism, perseverance is seen as a vital quality on the path to enlightenment. It's about continuing despite difficulties, trusting that each effort is bringing us closer to our goal. When faced with challenges, it is also helpful to practice letting go. Holding on to our fears, worries, or frustrations only weighs us down. By letting go of these burdens, we free ourselves to move forward with greater ease. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means releasing the grip of negative emotions that hinder our progress. In meditation, we often sit in stillness and observe our thoughts and feelings. This practice teaches us to observe challenges without being consumed by them. By maintaining a calm and clear mind, we can approach problems with a balanced perspective, making it easier to find solutions and remain steady in the face of adversity. As we continue on our journey, use the teachings of Buddhism as a guide. Reflect on the stories of those who have faced great obstacles and emerged victorious. The Buddha himself faced numerous challenges, and his teachings offer profound wisdom on navigating life's difficulties. Each challenge is an opportunity to apply these teachings and grow stronger. In conclusion, facing and overcoming challenges is a fundamental part of achieving the impossible. Embrace the difficulties you encounter as opportunities for growth and learning. Cultivate mindfulness, accept impermanence, practice compassion, persevere, and let go of what holds you back. By doing so, You will find yourself better equipped to navigate the path to your goals and emerge victorious in your quest. Remember, like the bamboo that bends with the wind, your flexibility and resilience will guide you through any storm. Facing and overcoming challenges, a Buddhist perspective. In the journey of life, challenges are like the wind, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce. Yet, how we face these challenges shapes our path and determines our destination. As a Zen master, I invite you to see these obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth. Imagine you are a tree standing tall in a storm. The wind might bend you, but it does not break you. Instead, it strengthens your roots. This is how challenges work in our lives. They test our resolve, but they also give us the chance to deepen our strength and wisdom. Buddhist teachings offer profound insights into dealing with difficulties. One key lesson is that suffering is not something to avoid, but to understand. The Buddha taught that life is inherently filled with challenges, and our task is to learn how to navigate them with grace and mindfulness. When we embrace this truth, we can transform our struggles into sources of power and enlightenment. In facing challenges, the first step is to cultivate awareness. Notice your reactions to problems. Are you reacting with fear, anger, or frustration? Or are you responding with calm, acceptance, and clarity? By observing your responses, you can begin to shift your perspective. Awareness allows you to see challenges not as personal attacks, but as part of the natural flow of life. Next, practice acceptance. This does not mean giving up or resigning yourself to failure. Instead, it means acknowledging the reality of the situation without judgment. When you accept the challenge as it is, you free yourself from the burden of resistance. This acceptance opens the door to creative solutions and inner peace. Mindfulness is another powerful tool. By staying present with each moment, you avoid being overwhelmed by the past or the future. Mindfulness helps you stay grounded, making it easier to navigate through difficulties without losing your way. When you are fully present, you can respond to challenges with clarity and purpose. Also, remember the principle of non-attachment. Often, our struggles arise from our attachment to certain outcomes or expectations. By letting go of rigid attachments, you allow yourself to adapt and flow with the changes. Non-attachment doesn't mean you don't care about the outcome. Rather, it means you are flexible in how you approach it. Consider the lotus flower. It grows in muddy waters, but blooms with unmatched beauty. Similarly, our challenges can be seen as the muddy waters in which we grow. Through perseverance and resilience, we can rise above our difficulties and emerge stronger, wiser, and more beautiful. In the Buddhist tradition, meditation is a crucial practice for overcoming challenges. Through meditation, we develop a calm and focused mind. This mental clarity helps us to deal with obstacles more effectively. When you meditate, you cultivate inner strength and a balanced perspective, which are essential for navigating life's difficulties. Another important aspect is to maintain compassion towards yourself. It's easy to be harsh and critical when things aren't going well, but compassion allows you to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. When you are compassionate towards yourself, you build resilience and foster a positive mindset. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. By embracing difficulties with a mindful and compassionate approach, you transform them into stepping stones on your journey. Each obstacle faced and overcome adds to your strength and wisdom, preparing you for greater achievements. The path of overcoming challenges is not always smooth or straightforward. It requires patience, perseverance, and a willingness to learn from every experience. Embrace each challenge as a part of your journey and let it guide you towards greater self-discovery and enlightenment. In summary, facing and overcoming challenges is a profound aspect of personal growth. By applying the principles of awareness, acceptance, mindfulness, non-attachment, and compassion, you can transform obstacles into opportunities. As you continue on your path, remember that every challenge you face is an integral part of your journey towards achieving the impossible. Embrace them with an open heart, and you will find strength and wisdom in every step, transforming fear into courage and confidence. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a great abyss. It is vast and deep, and the darkness below is intimidating. Your heart pounds with fear, and your mind races with doubts. Can I really cross this chasm? you wonder. What if I fall? Fear grips you, holding you back from moving forward. Now, let us breathe deeply and find solace in stillness. In this moment of fear, remember this. Fear is not a barrier, but a doorway. The teachings of the Zen path remind us that fear is a natural part of our journey, and it is through understanding and transforming this fear that we find our true strength. The Zen master observes the world with quiet clarity. He sees that fear is not to be eliminated, but to be embraced. When we face fear with awareness, it becomes a tool for growth. We learn to recognize fear for what it is, a part of our mind that seeks to protect us, but also one that can hold us back. To transform fear into courage, we start by acknowledging it. Accept fear as a companion on your journey. This acceptance does not mean giving in to it, but rather understanding its role. Fear often emerges from our deepest uncertainties and insecurities. It is our mind's way of preparing us for potential danger. By recognizing this, we see fear not as an enemy but as a part of our inner landscape. When we sit in meditation, we confront our fears head-on. We observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, allowing them to pass through us like clouds in the sky. This practice teaches us that our fears are transient and can be observed from a distance. By doing so, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and detachment, which diminishes the power of fear over us. Next, we practice courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward despite it. In Zen practice, we often speak of taking one step at a time. This means breaking down our challenges into smaller, manageable steps. When faced with fear, we do not need to leap across the abyss in one bound. Instead, we take small, deliberate steps, each one bringing us closer to our goal. As we progress, confidence grows. Confidence is the result of overcoming small fears and achieving small victories. Each step forward builds our sense of self-efficacy, reinforcing the belief that we can face and conquer larger challenges. This process transforms our fear into a source of strength rather than weakness. Reflect on the words of the Zen master. The greatest barrier to success is the fear of failure. By understanding that fear is a natural and useful part of our journey, we free ourselves from its paralyzing grip. We learn that every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth, and that the path to achievement is paved with the stones of courage. Consider the story of a young Zen student who, facing the challenge of mastering a difficult task, was initially overwhelmed by fear. Through meditation and practice, the student learned to approach the task with patience and persistence. Each small success built their confidence, and gradually, the once daunting task became a source of pride. In transforming fear into courage and confidence, we align ourselves with the Zen teachings of mindfulness and self-awareness. We learn to view our fears as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. By embracing fear with open hearts and minds, we unlock our potential and move closer to achieving the impossible. So, as you stand at the edge of your own abyss, remember, fear is a guide, not a barrier. Embrace it, understand it, and use it to fuel your journey. With each step forward, you transform fear into a powerful force for growth, leading you toward your goals and dreams. Maintaining balance and inner peace during the journey. In the journey of achieving the impossible alone, maintaining balance and inner peace is like walking on a tightrope. It is delicate and requires constant attention. Imagine a quiet lake. When the water is still, it mirrors the sky perfectly. But when disturbed, the reflection becomes chaotic and unclear. Your mind is like this lake. To reach your goals, you must keep your mind calm and clear. Balance is not about avoiding challenges. It is about managing them with a steady heart. When you face obstacles, your emotions may swirl like a stormy sea. If you let them control you, your progress will be hampered. Instead, approach each challenge with a calm and centered mind. Think of a Zen master observing a storm from a peaceful temple. The storm rages on, but the master remains unmoved, calm, and focused. Inner peace comes from understanding that you cannot control everything around you, but you can control your reaction. Buddhism teaches that suffering often arises from clinging to outcomes and expectations. When you let go of these attachments, you find a deeper sense of tranquility. It is not about being passive, but about accepting things as they are and responding wisely. To maintain balance, practice mindfulness regularly. Sit quietly and focus on your breath. Notice the rise and fall of each breath, the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. This simple practice helps anchor you in the present moment, reducing anxiety about the past or future. Through mindfulness, you learn to observe your thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. Another essential practice is meditation. Meditation is like a mental exercise that strengthens your ability to stay balanced. It trains your mind to remain steady amidst chaos. As you meditate, visualize yourself facing challenges with a serene and composed demeanor. See yourself navigating through difficulties with grace and wisdom. This visualization helps you build mental resilience and prepares you for real-life situations. In Buddhism, balance also means finding harmony between effort and relaxation. Just as a bow must be drawn back before it can shoot an arrow forward, you must balance your efforts with moments of rest. Overworking yourself can lead to burnout, which disrupts your progress. Schedule time for rest and rejuvenation. Engage in activities that bring you joy and relaxation, whether it's a walk in nature, reading a book, or simply enjoying a quiet cup of tea. Embrace the teachings of the Four Noble Truths. They remind you that life is full of challenges, but by understanding and accepting this, you can find peace. The first truth is the reality of suffering. The second truth is the cause of suffering, often rooted in desire and attachment. The third truth is the possibility of overcoming suffering. The fourth truth is the path leading to this freedom, which involves right understanding, right intention, and right action. As you pursue your goals, remember that balance and inner peace are not destinations but continuous practices. Each day, dedicate a few moments to reflect on your journey. Ask yourself, am I staying true to my path? Am I maintaining my inner calm? By regularly checking in with yourself, you ensure that you remain aligned with your true purpose. In moments of stress or confusion, return to your breath. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that balance is always within reach. It is like a steady flame in the darkness, guiding you forward. Keep this inner light alive through your practices, and you will find that even the most challenging journeys become manageable. Cultivating balance and inner peace is a lifelong endeavor. Be patient with yourself. Progress may be slow, and there will be setbacks, but each step you take towards maintaining calmness is a step towards achieving the impossible. Embrace the journey with an open heart and a serene mind. Through balance and peace, you unlock the true power within yourself to overcome any obstacle. Remember, the path to success is not just about reaching the end goal, but also about how you navigate the journey. Maintain your inner calm, and the journey will transform into a harmonious dance, guiding you towards the realization of your dreams. The balance between solitude and community in Buddhism. In the quiet corners of our minds and the vast expanse of our hearts, we often ponder the delicate balance between solitude and community. How do we find harmony between being alone and being with others? This question touches the essence of our journey, and within Buddhism, we find profound insights. Imagine a river flowing through a valley. On one side, the river's solitude creates a serene, reflective space. On the other side, the river joins with other streams, creating a powerful force that shapes the land. This balance between solitude and connection mirrors our own lives. Buddhism teaches us that solitude is not simply being alone. It is a state of deep inner reflection. When we are alone, we have the opportunity to connect with our true selves. This time allows us to explore our thoughts, feelings, and desires without external influences. It is in this solitude that we often find clarity and insight, a quiet space where our true nature reveals itself. Yet, community plays an equally important role in our lives. In Buddhist practice, we find great value in the Sangha, the community of fellow practitioners. This community provides support, encouragement, and wisdom. It is through our interactions with others that we learn compassion, empathy, and the importance of interconnectedness. Balancing solitude and community means understanding when to retreat into yourself and when to engage with others. Solitude offers a chance to recharge, reflect, and grow. It is where we can find peace and strength within. But community offers a different kind of nourishment. It provides a mirror to our actions, a source of inspiration, and a reminder that we are part of something greater. In Buddhist teachings, the middle way is a guiding principle. It suggests that neither extreme is beneficial. Instead, a balanced approach is key. Just as the river benefits from both its quiet, solitary sources and its powerful, collective flow, we too benefit from both solitude and community. Finding this balance requires mindfulness. When alone, we can practice self-awareness, examining our thoughts and emotions with compassion and understanding. When with others, we can practice mindfulness by listening deeply, offering support, and sharing wisdom. Each experience enriches the other, creating a harmonious rhythm in our lives. Consider the story of a monk who lived in solitude on a mountain. He spent his days meditating, finding deep peace and insight. However, he also knew the importance of visiting the village below, where he would share his teachings and learn from the experiences of others. His time alone gave him clarity, while his interactions with the community provided a broader perspective. This balance is not always easy to maintain. We may find ourselves overwhelmed by social demands or, conversely, feeling isolated in our solitude. Yet, it is through this balancing act that we grow and thrive. Embracing both solitude and community allows us to cultivate a richer, more fulfilling life. The journey towards this balance is deeply personal. It involves tuning into our own needs and rhythms, recognizing when we need solitude for introspection and when we need community for connection. By practicing mindfulness, we can navigate this balance with grace and awareness. As we explore this balance, we also come to understand the role of compassion. Solitude can teach us to be kind to ourselves, while community can teach us to be kind to others. Both are essential aspects of a harmonious life. In solitude, we learn self-compassion, and in community, we learn to extend that compassion outward. In Buddhism, this balance also reflects the interconnectedness of all things. Solitude and community are not separate, they are intertwined. Our solitary reflections influence our interactions, and our community experiences shape our personal growth. Recognizing this interconnectedness helps us appreciate the value of both solitude and community. As we continue to explore this balance, we find that it enriches our lives in profound ways. Solitude provides a space for deep inner work, while community offers opportunities for connection and shared wisdom. Embracing both aspects allows us to live more fully, with greater understanding and compassion. The practice of finding this balance is ongoing. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a willingness to adjust as our needs and circumstances change. By approaching this balance with an open heart and mind, we create a more harmonious and fulfilling life. So, let us embrace both solitude and community with gratitude and mindfulness. In doing so, we honor the wisdom of Buddhism and find a deeper sense of balance and fulfillment in our own lives. The journey to impossible accomplishments, reflect and inspire. In the quiet space of solitude, where the noise of the world fades away, there lies a profound truth. Every journey to achieving the impossible begins with a single step. This step, though small, carries within it the seeds of transformation and boundless potential. As we reach the end of our exploration into achieving the impossible alone, let us take a moment to reflect on the path we have traversed and the wisdom we have gathered. Imagine, if you will, a solitary mountain climber standing at the base of a towering peak. The climb is arduous, the path uncertain, but the resolve within is unwavering. This climber represents each one of us, setting out to conquer our own personal mountains. The journey is not merely about reaching the summit. It is about discovering the strength within ourselves that propels us forward, despite the obstacles. Throughout this series, we have uncovered the essence of achieving greatness alone through the lens of Buddhist wisdom. We learned that true strength lies not in the absence of challenges, but in our ability to face them with courage and clarity. Buddhism teaches us that enlightenment and success are not granted by external forces, but are cultivated from within. To achieve the impossible, we must first cultivate a deep sense of self-reliance. This means understanding that while external support and encouragement are valuable, the true power to succeed comes from within. Buddha's journey to enlightenment was a solitary one, filled with moments of profound self-discovery and inner strength. His teachings remind us that our greatest potential is unlocked through personal effort and unwavering dedication. We also explored the role of mindfulness in this journey. Mindfulness is the practice of being present, of fully engaging with each moment without judgment. It allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. By practicing mindfulness, we gain clarity and focus, which are essential for overcoming challenges and achieving our goals. Discipline and self-mastery, as taught in Buddhism, are also crucial. They are the tools that help us maintain our course, even when the path becomes difficult. Discipline is not about rigid control, but about cultivating habits that align with our true intentions. It is about making choices that honor our values and support our goals. Meditation has been another key aspect of our exploration. It is through meditation that we connect with our inner selves and gain insights into our deepest desires and fears. Meditation helps us to quiet the mind, to find stillness amidst chaos, and to foster a sense of inner peace. This inner peace is the foundation upon which we build our achievements. Challenges and setbacks are an inevitable part of any journey. However, through the lens of Buddhist teachings, we learn to transform these obstacles into opportunities for growth. Each challenge we face is a chance to learn, to evolve, and to deepen our understanding of ourselves. By embracing challenges with a positive mindset, we transform adversity into a stepping stone towards our goals. As we reflect on our journey, it is important to remember that achieving the impossible alone is not about isolation, but about self-discovery. It is about finding the strength within ourselves to pursue our dreams with passion and perseverance. It is about understanding that we are capable of more than we often realize, and that our potential is limitless. In closing, let us take a moment to acknowledge our progress and to celebrate the insights we have gained. The path to achieving the impossible is a personal journey, marked by moments of clarity, determination, and growth. Each step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to realizing our dreams. As you move forward on your own journey, carry with you the wisdom we have explored together. Embrace the power of self-reliance, practice mindfulness, cultivate discipline, and approach challenges with courage. Remember that you have the strength within you to achieve great things, even when you stand alone. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May you find inspiration in the path you travel and the courage to achieve the impossible. Until we meet again, keep striving, keep believing, and keep moving forward. Your journey is just beginning, and the possibilities are boundless. If this series has resonated with you, please consider subscribing to Wisdom Woven. Your support helps us continue to bring valuable insights and inspiration to you. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay connected with our content. Your journey to achieving the impossible starts here.